Wow, look at this. This is a convertible kayak. Basically, this thing turns from a 14-footer that you see right here into a 10-footer, and it's a lot of fun. This kayak, well, what I want to do today is I want to give you a walkthrough of everything that you get when you buy this boat. Pricing, I won't tell you because I don't know the prices. They listed some prices online that are not the real prices, so contact the dealer, whoever you need to talk to. But right now, I'm just gonna talk about the boat. This one is the Stroke Steam Roller 14 or 10 foot. We got the 14-foot version here. Later on the video, we're gonna cut it in half and we're gonna show you the 10-footer. But let's start right here in the rear. Got a nice beefy handle here. It looks a lot like the hobie handles, and you can install a lot of accessories. I'm gonna show you some of them as we walk through the boat. And also what I did here in the rear, I don't know if you've seen the videos, but I installed a Torpedo trolling motor right here in the back, and it performed really well. You got a nice, huge hatch right here. You can store things in here. Now this is just like a 5-foot piece. You won't be like, whatever you put here is not gonna go all the way to the middle or the end of the boat. It's just this area here, which is nice. You can store things here and you're gonna be able to access them easy, and you have a giant hatch. Underneath this hatch you got the rotor right here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release it so you see how it works. Now the rotor is down, and that should give you more maneuverability. Is that a word? And right here, if you take this off, this center piece right here, you're gonna see all the cabling for the router and everything else. Right here we got a drain plug. We got one here. Each piece have their own drain plugs, and I'm gonna show you that as I walk through the boat. But something cool that this boat has is that it has gear tracks all over the place. You got gear tracks right here, gear tracks where the seats base are, and you can move those seats back and forth. Right now I think I have them tied up, so they will not move easy, but you could move them. You get the idea. And you can move it all the way back or forward. And if you look closely, these gear tracks, they have the nuts already inserted in them. Yeah, there's two systems to measure things. One is the metric and one is the real one, which is the American one. These are not the American ones, but you could easily remove this piece right here if I had something to remove it. Boom, could remove this piece and then take this out and put whatever accessory you want. You could put your track mount accessories like I have here with the rail blaster ports that I put myself in here. Easy, you just remove this piece and then do whatever you need to do and plug it back in. I really like this idea because that way you don't lose anything, and yet you could just have it like this. Oh, let me put this back. There you go. It's not gonna go anywhere, so that's super nice. You got two flush mounted rod holders, pretty nice. This is a very narrow boat, however you wanna say it. I speak Aliex, I don't know what you speak. Anyways, so the thing with this being so narrow is that those rod holders, even though they're tilted like this, still it's not gonna be a lot of space, so you may get tangled if you have two lines running on the back. If you come closer here, of course you got one seat right here, and underneath that seat you have a nice, let me just remove the seat so you can see what I'm talking about. Boom, you got a nice hatch with a cup holder. Oh, I didn't even know I had a cup holder in here. Now we know. Wow, look at this, take a look at this. If you remove one of these seats, let's say you remove this one from the boat and you just have one, and you use this boat instead of being a tandem boat, you just use it as, well, on the tandem setup, but you just go yourself. You have so much space in here because you could just remove the drive and plug in this here, and look at that. I want you to appreciate how much space you have. It's incredible how much space you have here. So imagine yourself sitting back here, and then you have this giant open canvas. This is crazy. You could take a lot of stuff with you, and being a 14-footer, even though it's only like 31 inches wide, you're not gonna flip on this boat. If you wanna see how much trouble I had to flip this boat, go watch the full stability test video that I did. That's a flip video. is incredibly stable as a 14 footer. When you shop it down to a 10 footer, it's not as stable, but you can still stand up and do your thing. This boat comes with 2 seats as you saw. It also comes with 2 drives. The problem is we only have 1 drive. They only sent me 1 drive to test. The other drive that you saw over there is not a drive that fit on this boat because this is narrower. Like, let me take this out here and let me show you. You have to use their drive. If you take another drive like this X drive from my Buy Shearwater 125, it doesn't quite fit in there. So come in closer, take a look. See, it doesn't go all the way in. So you're gonna have to use their drive. And now this drive don't quite fit on the other boats. But yeah, that's one of the things that you have to think about. Not all this hobie style drive fits every single boat that you have in the market right now. If we keep walking toward, you can see that this is the drive well. This is where the drive will go. And it's a piece of plastic, but it works really well. Too bad that it's not the same standard size. And in here you got another front hatch with a liner. Now something that I noticed is this thing doesn't quite fit in there properly, and whatever you have here, you might find it inside the boat. Luckily, the boat is only, like, this piece is only 5 feet long, so you could find it if you need to after the fact. And you got more gear tracks right here in the front. Something that comes with the boat is these accessories that you see here, plus a cup holder that I showed you earlier. And the cool thing about this accessory is that you could use as a paddle holder or a rod holder if you want. Now, I'm gonna take this 1 second and do this. I have this rod that I ordered from Shop Carl's, this Guggen rod, and I haven't opened it in days, so let me just take care of that. Hopefully it's in one piece, and my thing fell off again. Now let's see if my rod is still in good shape. Reaction 7.2 baitcaster Guggen green rod, and I have a reel right here. I'm gonna put this pin fat in. Look at this. You could just put this reel right here like that, and if you want, you just secure it. Boom, you got a lot of space right here. This is an incredible setup. When we used it on the water like this, it was epic. Now what I want to do is I want to measure this boat for you guys so you know how long it is, how wide it is. I was reading online that this big 14 footer, it holds about 500 pounds, which is acceptable. And let me just go here. I'm gonna estimate this because it's about 31.5 inches right here in the middle section. And if we go here, let's say we remove the middle piece and we just have this long piece, it's about 30.5 inches basically. Let's talk about how long this boat is. 13 feet and 10 inches long. It's 13 feet and 10 inches long, more or less, and about 31 inches wide at the widest position. But don't let that fool you. It's not that wide, but being so long and all the pieces moving, like I was saying earlier, this thing is super, super stable. Now let me show you how this thing is put together. So I'm gonna remove everything of this boat so I can show you how everything was put together. I'm gonna remove my paddle. Ooh. I'm gonna remove the fishing rods. I'm gonna remove this. Now I want you to look closely. This right here is used to kind of like hold this boat together. Basically you got about 2 pieces that are 5 feet long, the front and the rear, and the middle piece is about 4 feet long. And the way that you put it together is like Legos. It has a little dent, like one has a little hole and one has a little thing, and then you stitch it together. We're gonna show you that, but the way that once you put it together like this, the way that is held in position is with these little straps. Now these straps, they do break because one broke already and I had to put a bungee cable, but it's easy to replace them. Even on the water you could do it. Just take a spare with you, or more than a spare, so if that happens, boom. And right here you got more of that strap. Now I want to remove the seat because I want to show you guys how to break it apart and how to put it together, because we're gonna make it a 10 footer now, so you guys could take a look at that. you have to do, of course, is release this plastic strap, and it has a little clamp right here that you lift up, and then you just take it out. And over here it will be the same thing, and that is out. Let's remove this one. Now, if you simply lift this boat, it's not gonna break apart. This is an awesome thing because if one of these things break on the water, you know that it's not gonna just break apart. A lot of stuff has to happen. So the best way to do this, if you do it like this up and you start shaking it, like it gets to a point that it comes out. You see, it's already coming out here, and boom, that easy. And same thing here. If you shake it enough, you're gonna see an opening and just break it apart. That's the best way that I found to break it up, and then to put it together. That is a different story. Basically, you get rid of the middle piece, and let's put these two pieces together now. Boom. You have to align the little blocks so they fall in. There you go. This one is in, and just a matter of putting the other one in. And I think this is the quickest that I have put it together myself. Just put the straps through, so we'll hold it in place. Let's put the other one. You could bring more of that line in like this. If you step in the middle, it's gonna like hold them closer together, and then you could just drop it like this. Woo! Nice. Now we're missing a seat here. There you go. Just like that, it became a two-piece 10-footer kayak, 10 by 30, very light now. You could just lift this thing up and take it with you. It's not heavy at all, and it's still stable enough that you can stand up and fish, but you lose a lot of stability though, and you lose a lot of speed as well. As you can see, you lose a lot of stuff when you make it into a 10-footer. No longer have the dual bar system on each side, and you have a lot less space. Right here, almost no tank well, so you lose a lot of storage. But that's cool, I guess. I mean, I was using it as a 10-footer. I went fishing with it, and I felt really nice. Something not heavy, something you could transport easy. And then once you get on the water, it's easy too, because you don't have to deal with any of the 3 pieces or anything like that. But if you want to take your family with you, hey, it's nice to have a kayak that you could go solo like this, and then just convert it into a 14-footer and take it on the water fishing. The last thing I want to show you guys is how it looks on the bottom. So I'm gonna flip it over and show you that. Boom. And take a look at this piece as well. What you're looking at here is where the rudder goes, and you have this giant hole here so you're able to steer properly. Right here, you can put your transducer underneath and make sure that it's protected from the condition. And of course, you have the dry wells. In terms of handles, it has that giant handle on the back that you saw earlier. And then it has this nice molding handle right here in the front. It's nice to hold, but I wish it would have something else, something you could put a strap through when you're carrying this boat on your truck. I wish it had something to, you know, to secure in the front. This is not a full review. That is coming soon. I do have some concerns about this boat, but I think the main selling point is that you can turn it into a 10-footer or have a 14-footer. And it's easy to do. Once you learn how to do it, it's quick and easy. So that is a huge selling point. Anyways, if you want to see more about this boat, I got a bunch of videos already published. Go check the playlist. Subscribe, click like, later.